Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. Junior for a fan reaction. Torino Milan just ended at the Stadio Olimpico, 1-1 the scoreline. Menez scoring in the opening minutes, of course, on a penalty shot. Glick equalizing a few minutes still from the end, of course, and that was the scoreline. Another very disappointing result for Milan, to say the very least. Really just throwing out games by the week, really, and still these ties, these 1 points that we're getting week in, week out, are just so useless. I'm with Matt from the AC Milan Bros here. Of course, he's going to give you his reaction on today's game. Matt, as I said, very disappointing once again, of course. In that second half, Milan was pretty much forced to defend. Really, what do you make of this Milan side that really has won 2 of their last 11 Serie A games so far?
Well, many people have touched on it already. In particularly Anthony Lopapolo of AC Milan NYC. It pretty much initially everyone thought, or most people thought, was that after the Roma Napoli results, we were going to take off, not take off in a sense of dominating teams, but we were going to kind of see a little bit more of an improved and a more consistent Milan. After those results, we saw the result against Sassuolo, lost to them. And then, of course, we played just an even worse game today versus Torino. Of course, at that time when we did draw Roma, and previously before that we beat Napoli, I believe I even said it on Rossoneri TV that if they don't get the results out of those games against Sassuolo, Torino, and I believe Atalanta is the next team up after what we've been after how we ended the previous year. Those other results were meaningless. Milan are losing more points with these losses than gaining points with the results they had versus Napoli and Roma. And of course, it speaks volumes about how inconsistent this club really is. One of the biggest knocks on Balotelli when he was here was that Balotelli only scores penalties. Most of his goals come from the penalty spot. Menez gets another penalty today, not knocking him, but again, he's either had a good performance or he's had a complete dud of a performance. We're not getting a consistent showing from the team week in and week out, and that's the issue. If Milan was consistently playing games for the most part well and just still coming up a little bit short, I could understand. I could understand what's going on. But when Milan play a good game versus the top teams in Serie A and then just have 2 duds in a row to begin the year, it's terrible. It's undescribable.
Really, Matt, I just want to touch on this note, really, because, of course, we kind of see Milan, their performances every week, just not good enough, just lacking week in and week out. Like, we do perform against the top teams. We mentioned this several times. But against the teams that we should beat, and we stressed this so much before the end of 2014, the results are not coming. And in order for us to get that 3rd spot, we're going to need to get these results. Because, okay, we didn't lose today, and kind of judging by the situation in which we were in that second half, of course we were winning. Very disappointing not to get the 3 points. But we kind of have to say it was coming to us, really. With all those chances that Torino were getting, and even when we were 11 on 11 today, okay, we just allowed too much to Torino, just way too much. I don't understand the problem with this, really. We're just not performing well. And you know what? I don't think it's just Inzaghi fields, because really, we saw pretty much everyone play, okay? I'm not just speaking about this game. I'm also speaking about the players that play against Sassuolo, the players that played today. We pretty much saw everyone playing, right? Like, you can't just say this guy is not performing well and that's why we're not getting the results. It's really a collective effort that's lacking for this team, okay? I don't know if we're just underestimating these opponents or we're just taking it too easy, but I could just see from the way they play, they kind of think we're getting the lead, and that's going to be the result at the end of the day. Really,
Sorry to interrupt. I agree completely. It's interesting because, like you just said, like we don't know what Milan team we're getting, and until we find that string of consistency of well, we can go on the road or play at the San Siro and turn in a good solid 90-minute match without having something crazy happen. We're not going to get top three. I don't see it. There's teams we can't even take care of the teams that we should take care of when we're in our own yard. There's something going on with the team. I don't know if it's there's not confident that they can beat some of these teams and that they need a bigger challenge versus the likes of a Roma or Napoli.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this team. I'm saying as an entirety, this is a team game. Everyone's playing like garbage. If we don't get the result, I'm not going to praise one player for playing well. Why should I do that? Because who cares? Who cares? This isn't golf. It's not tennis. It's not a single individual sport. It's a team effort. And the team's not playing well to get the result. Who cares? Who cares? You can score 40, 50 goals. I don't care. If we don't win the games, it's meaningless to me. It's meaningless.
Well said, Matt. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on Torino Milan. Guys, I just don't know what to make of this team anymore. Really, we're getting happy with results against top teams, but really, I think from now on, the wins that we should get, we shouldn't even be triumphing over them. We shouldn't even be like going crazy over these wins because who knows? The next week we might play bottom of the table and lose against them. Like really, you don't even know what to expect from this team anymore.
And could I just say one more thing? We're in currently the January transfer window, and I understand that Milan has been linked with several players the past week or so, but we got Churchy. Scott Suso, whether he comes now or in June is another story. I feel like there's so much more going on and so much more focus on who we're going to get than rather going that weekday or weekend to play the actual match. That's the thing. There's a lot of I don't think the team's focused. I think there's just more concern about players moving around.
I think there's just way too much emphasis on the mercato instead of the actual game.
Yeah. No, of course. And again, I'm sure we'll hear more from other people that appear on Rossoneri TV, but there's just a ton wrong at Milan right now, and until we see consistency, I don't think I should actually be celebrating any win or any decent result for that matter.
Right. Thank you, Matt, once again for sharing your thoughts. Guys, don't forget to follow him at AC Milan Bros on Twitter. Great insight on Milan and much more. This has been it, guys, for this fan reaction. Thanks for watching. And as usual, Forza Milan.